Alrighty, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Winnebago Mini Motorhome Upgrade. Today, we're going to be putting a diesel heater in. Yeah, you heard me right. A diesel heater. That should really help with the fuel consumption on keeping this thing warm with the propane furnace. And what we're going to do is put it right here in this compartment. I've got it sitting in there, sizing it up to see if it's going to fit and if it's going to work. And for everything I see, I think it's going to. So, this is a 5 kW diesel heater. This is a 6-gallon marine fuel tank. So we're going to run the diesel heater off of this fuel tank. And with the low consumption, low fuel consumption that these diesel heaters use, that will probably be able to run 24 hours a day for well over a week and never have to refill with fuel. So that really ups the boondocking capabilities. So let's quit talking and get into it. Well, let me show you the main reason why I chose this compartment. The fact that it was big enough. And this is the water pump and water tanks. And so Winnebago already had a vent coming through from upstairs, the furnace, to keep the water from freezing. And the hole up there was already cut, and I was able to put one of our diesel heater vents right through there. And we'll look it upstairs in a few minutes, but this is going to work fantastic because what'll happen is it will pull air from the other side of the motorhome. See the light over there? It'll pull air from the other side of the motorhome like a cold air return in a house. And so it won't be pulling any air from outside. And that will really make it even more efficient than it already is. So now I've got to get it lined up. We know it's going to sit somewhere in this area, but we're going to have to cut out the carpet because we don't want to take a chance of the exhaust causing a fire. All right, we used the plate here, and we've got it marked. So now we're going to cut out the carpet. All right, that should give us plenty of room to drill the hose through and stay plenty far away from the carpet. You purchase this bracket separate, and you can pick it up on Amazon. I will leave a link in the description. But what it does is it gets it up off the ground so you can fasten everything on really nice, and it just is much better than mounting the heater directly to the floor. All right, this is the fresh air intake for the combustion chamber. And you know which side it goes on because here's the fuel line. And they put it on the side with the fresh air. So what's really nice is these heaters all come with the hardware that you're going to need to, complete the install. So that makes it really nice. Okay, so air intake from the outside goes into the combustion chamber and then comes out as exhaust after, it explodes. All right, nice and solid. see, I'll just leave it this way so you can see. Next, we're going to need to attach the fuel line. There it is. There you have it. Okay. Let me move the camera. Okay, as you can see, we've got it down through the hose, got the fuel line going down, got the exhaust, and we've got the fresh air intake. Now all I have to do is screw it down. We've got the vent on back here. Pretty simple install. All right, here's what we have now. This is the duct coming off of the propane furnace. And so what I'm wanting to do is come in here and put the diesel right below it. Originally, I wanted to bring it over to here, but that's going to extend the run, and they're really, because of all the bracing, without cutting out some bracing, there's no way to do it. And thinking about it, I think this will be much better because it's going to be a very short run from the heater to the vent. And so you won't get any back pressure at all, which will make it extremely efficient. So I'm going to go ahead and cut in that other hole. Alrighty, we got this bad boy installed, and as you can hear, we've got it running. Now I found that just leaving this pump like that, it's the quiet that I've ever heard one. If you try to put it inside this or mount it to something, it just bangs all through the camper. So this is the way I'm going to leave it. And in the summer, when we pull the tank, I'll just put this into like a stuff sack and put it back in there, and that'll give us some extra storage space. So let me show you under here. Got the filter for the cold air intake, and you can see I put a fiberglass sleeve on the exhaust because it's just too close to where the shoreline comes out, and I didn't want to risk that cord coming up against it and causing an issue. But just kind of review, it's pulling air from the interior, from the inside of the motorhome, across the water tanks there, and sucks it back in the end here. So it's just like a perfect cold air return. And the benefit is it will keep the water in the tanks and the fuel pump from ever freezing. So let me go inside and show you what we did as far as putting the thermostat or the controls, what I had to do was cut it here and add, this is basically just a telephone cable that has a bunch of little wires, and I just matched them up, ran a 12 volt power cord from a fuse back in the electrical panel, and that wraps it up on this side. Let's go in. Hear how nice and quiet that is? Now, that being said, it is on the lowest setting, but it really keeps this nice and warm. And I put the control way up here out of the way. And you can see I've got it set on 1 out of 10. Or I could, you know, press the buttons and get it to where it works like a thermostat. But I think I like it just on the manual better. All right, guys, there you have it. So, it's a done deal. We got a diesel heater in this bad boy now. All righty. You know, I didn't show you every little bit about installing it, and that's because every installation is going to be different. And you just have to figure out how to do it. You know, where are you going to put things and how are you going to situate them in there? But for my setup here in the Winnebago, this has turned out to be fantastic. All righty. Thanks for coming along with me, and I hope to see you on the next upgrade video. Later.